anything too, having played so many of these kind of games, these close ones, especially lately, just getting accustomed to them, knowing how to sort of respond?
I'll say it doesn't hurt, obviously, being in the situation before, and we felt we could play a lot better going into the fourth quarter, up 5, down 5, and weren't playing our best, fouling a lot, missing wide open shots, and still felt like we could do what we did in the fourth, which was guard, and only give up 20 points there. Finally made some shots, made some big plays, jump balls, and contests, and all those things, and so. Yeah, I think being in the situation before only helps us going forward.
Can you talk a little bit about Fred and how he's able to adapt to whatever the team needs? One night, being an assist leader tonight, having 38 points.
Yeah, he takes what the game presents, and so if their big is going to be back, and he knows he's going to be able to walk into certain shots, great. If they're going to be up and show a crowd and try to take him off the jump shot, he finds guys in the pocket and lets them be the recipient. So. Just a consummate pro that's been there, done that, and isn't really worried about stats. He's worried about whatever is going to help the team win. And so, seen it all, been there through all that stuff, and so nothing really surprises him. And he pretty much more often than not makes the right read.
Can you talk about what you saw from Alfie tonight? Just the grit he showed, especially in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, he's had some games this year, as other guys have, that it's not going your way early, or you miss some shots, and whatever the case may be, and they all stick with it and understand that one good quarter or one good stretch can win you a basketball game. And so he's kind of been there, done that, and taken over the last few games, and late in the Minnesota and Philadelphia games and things like that. So I don't think he's unaccustomed to being in that moment, understanding what we need down the stretch. And so Fred had it going early, other guys had it going, nice balance overall, and Alfie does what he does when he has to.
How did you feel about
Dylan getting that, forcing that jump ball and then getting that shot off right before the clock?
Yeah, those are two of the biggest plays. We hit his three, and they got an offensive rebound to tie it back up, and we missed one. And for him to have the wherewithal to kind of go in there and tie it up and not foul, and then win it, and then make that shot, it was a few consecutive big plays by him. Obviously, Fred hit a big one there too, but you see the things that show up on the stat sheet. But I think the contest by Tari on Gil just made him double pump there. It was kind of everybody contributed, but Dylan definitely made a few that stood out.
How did you feel about Jabari Smith Jr.'s impact in this game, especially after kind of shifting the rotations to play him more at the 5 after that brief little stint from Steven? And is that something you might go to a little bit more often moving forward?
Yeah, he was good. I mean, they were very small outside of Hartenstein. Not that we were as concerned with some of their guys taking shots, but it was more the defense on Gilgeous-Alexander and Williams that we wanted to switch and stay in front of those guys a little bit better and stop doubling at times or giving them a head of steam, which they were getting downhill quite a bit. So something we feel comfortable with. He's done quite a bit, and like I said, that allows for Tari, and some other guys to get extended minutes as well. So he's been good there, takes advantage on both ends, and we don't have a lot of drop-off, and gives us a lot of versatility.
What kind of growth does it show that this team has been able to keep their composure 3 games in a row really late in the game?
Yeah, I said it after the 2 overtime back-to-back games that we might have lost those last year at times, or the momentum kind of shifted, and we don't have the same fight going into overtime, and so that's shown some growth there. But I think this year so far it's been a lot of tight games, and we got kind of accustomed to that, and so it doesn't surprise us or get too big for the moment.
You guys are a confident group, but when you look at how the game went at their place the last time, was it important to get a win like this, to just kind of reinforce to them just how good they can be?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the last game. It was really one quarter where they outscored us by 24, and so other than that, we played them pretty even. We wanted to avoid those big runs. We had one early and kind of let it dissipate before the fourth quarter. So we had an 11-point lead, went down to 2. We've made a few mistakes there, and so more so than anything, I think we've grown since that point in the season early on, and it kind of showed tonight.
Coach, one of the first things you said when you were hired here that you want to change the mindset, change the culture, and get these guys to believe that they can be the best. And now you look at the standings, you look at the way they're playing. What have you seen from them to be able to buy into that mindset and be where they are right now?
We kind of set that foundation last year to compete with everybody. Obviously, we had some ups and downs with winning and losing streaks at times, but to finish the season the way we did, get to 500 and 11-game winning streak and some close losses against high-level playoff teams, I think we kind of proved that to ourselves last year, that that's who we're going to be, and I think people noticed there was a difference, and so this year we want to take another step as far as that, and I think obviously we've done that record-wise and even mentality-wise. It's been there, done that. if we're not playing our best, we can still figure out ways to get it done. And I think based on coaches, players, GMs, people that we all know what they're saying, it seems like everybody else is taking notice as well.
You mentioned the missed open shots earlier. For Alpine to continue to pass out of the double and triple teams, even after all the missed shots in the third quarter, does that sort of send a message that he still trusts, or that you guys trust him to make the right decision? Or?
Yeah, I think we saw that at their place. They really went after him early on, and we had open looks that we made. We showed that to the guys to reiterate that point, that the looks are going to be there, and it's your job to make the right read and live with the result. And so guys are missing. We understand it can be a different game if we make those wide open shots, and then from there, Alpe's done his job, draw two and get off the ball and let everybody else make a decision. So something that he's continuing to grow in, but at the same time, we want to be aggressive and pick his spots to when to score if they don't double quickly enough.
What kind
do
of
you think this team's proven or established through the first quarter of the season now?
Just building on last year. Like I said, the mindset and of who we want to be going forward, and we understood we could look back on a number of games, 10+ games last year that we felt we gave away, and that's obviously going to change your outcome in the standings. And so we don't want to do that this year. We've done a few this year early and want to kind of redirect the momentum back in our favor. And so I think it's just building on what we did last year, and I think guys are all bought into that. A year older, physically, mentally, and understanding what we want to do as a coaching staff. So we're obviously headed where we were last year.
What kind of a statement is a win like this now, just a half game back from the #1 seed in the conference?
I wouldn't say a statement. It just shows growth on our part from where we were, 55 games into the season or whatever when we saw them the first time. And so we felt like, the Charlotte games and some of the early losses, San Antonio, we wanted to grow and improve from there. Going 6-4 in those first 10, we were obviously 8-2 in the last 10, and so we showed that we had grown from there, and this is just another step in that direction.
Coach, there have been times where in this arena there have been more fans, it seems like, for the opposing team. Can you start to feel that shift in that energy, especially with the way that they played tonight? You can just hear the crowd into it.
Yeah, I felt like it from the start. I guess it's a #1, #2 matchup or whatever, maybe a division rival and another young team that's where we're trying to get to, and so maybe it's some of that. But good to see more red in the building for sure. And either way, I tell the guys all the time, you got to make people come, and by playing an attractive style and playing a winning style, and the fans will come eventually. So it's on us to do that.
All right.
Thank you.